Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mukul Mehra from the Nepean Sea Road Citizens Forum. I have taken the liberty of muting everyone for the moment because we are over 100 participants, and I would request you all to unmute only when you want to speak and thereafter mute yourselves again. We're expecting Mr. Gaikwad to join us at any moment. Along with that, we will also be having with us the Zonal Deputy Commissioner of Police, who would also like to have a few words today. Okay, so the objective for the meeting today is the corporation is quite concerned to the rising cases in our area, and they're more concerned about the cause for those cases. Each case is linked to another 10 or 12 people getting infected. And if this were to continue, we would be looking at a very serious situation in our community. Now, it seems that quite a few societies are being very liberal and lax when it comes to the implementation of the lockdown guidelines, or the unlock guidelines as the government would like to call them these days. Let us please first understand that the government has no control over the spread of this disease. It is completely in our hands. And if anyone is to blame today after over 60 to 70 days in lockdown, it is only us. We have not been able to control it. We've not been able to educate our neighbors or our domestic staff and provide them with enough sanitary wear, I'm sorry, not sanitary wear, but enough medical equipment such as gloves, face masks, or even something as simple as hand sanitizers for them to be able to protect themselves. Please feel free if anyone would like to speak up, or we have Mr. Okay, speak. Mr. Gaikwad. We also have the Senior Inspector of Police for Malabar Hill, Mr. Patil, has also joined us.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. I'm really sorry to disturb you on this holiday. I just wanted to have an interaction of 10 to 15 minutes with all of you. You must be aware that there were no cases in the month of May in entire Malabar Hill from high rises. And suddenly from June, we have started coming so many cases, and near about 300 cases are from these all the well-to-do societies. And 30% of them are house helps or the servants or security staff and housekeeping staff. So already we have circulated, I think all of your societies might have
You're not going to come.
Hello?
I'm saying you will not come. I stop the video.
They are not getting my sound.
You will not come.
I think you have to all of us.
Other than Mr. Gaikwad, could everyone please mute themselves? Please allow Mr. Gaikwad to speak. Thank you.
Oh, look at the house.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you're audible.
We have already circulated these guidelines to all the societies. What do's and don'ts are expected from all the society peoples during this unlock period, so that there should not be any spread of this coronavirus or COVID-19 cases in the societies. I think a lot of you must have been following all these do and don'ts, but your society staff, which has been deployed by all of you, they are not doing this. That is the primary concern. I think if one of your servants or one of your house help or security guard are getting infected, they spread this infection to all other who are coming in contact, and those house helps are infecting the residents of the societies as well. The simple thing I will like all of you to follow is that wherever these house helps and security people are staying, you have to do the markings of the social distancing, because all these house helps, they generally don't follow the social distancing norms. They get along together and they are using the common toilets. As far as possible, I will request all of you to ensure that your house helps stay in indoor and within your premises, and they should not be sharing the premises with other people at the garages, because most of the buildings are having the garages, and those garages have been used and they are having common toilets which are used by these house helps and security guards. Second thing I would like to add, uh, there are some unlock guidelines issued by the government. Those are need to be followed also, because within the society premises also, if you are taking a walk and all these things, all the people should use the mask. If you are doing the jogging within the society premises and doing the walk in the society premises, you have to wear the mask. And as far as possible, try to avoid moving in groups. Try to avoid moving in groups. That will help in containing this virus. All of you have worked very hard during last 2 months, and we have been able to achieve nearly a zero case in the high rises. But again, now it has started, and again we have to work towards all these guidelines. We have to follow all these guidelines so that these cases should come down again by this month end, because the next month will be very crucial. Even the monsoon diseases will be there. Already we have started our action from BMC side for malaria and dengue. And we hope that all the societies are also taking care of all the guidelines which are issued by BMC for taking care of monsoon related illness. And if the combination of this monsoon related illness and COVID, it will be very lethal, because it will be having the similar symptoms. It is very difficult to check whether you are having a malaria, dengue or COVID. Means unless you test the patient, you are not sure whether you are having a monsoon related illness or COVID-19 illness. So hence I request all of you to maintain the social distance again. And as far as possible, if your buildings, any floor is sealed, try to ensure that nobody enters that floor and nobody comes out of that floor, because I have been getting complaints that people from the sealed floor are moving around in the societies, and that is creating an issue, and that is why there are more cases in the societies. Means after detecting first case, we don't expect to have a 20-21 cases in one building. It is and at least not from the people like you or the people who are well educated and staying in such a good societies. We don't expect to have 20 or 21 cases from one building. If 20 or 21 cases we are getting from slums, we are sealing all the entire pocket of slum. So in that cases, we have to become a more of a cautious, and we have to seal all the buildings also. Just today morning I spoke to Mr. Mukul Mehra. If we get the cases in the buildings in the lane and in different buildings and number of cases are more, we have to seal that entire lane also if need arises. So I hope these need will not arise, and all of you will follow the social norms, social distancing norms, and take all the guidelines of the government issued by government time to time seriously. And there will be no increase of cases within our D ward premises, and especially in the Malabar Hill and Gamdevi area, high-rise societies. If anyone is having any doubts, they can ask now. Thank you.
Hello.
Mr. Gaikwad.
Hello.
This is Varun Dalmia from Prabhat Building. I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah, please speak.
We all are trying to keep it extremely tight, and we are trying to ensure that people in our society do not step out. We are trying to tell them, though the government has relaxed the norms, some people are going to office. We cannot legally stop them. But there is this question about part-timers. Everyone is asking us to allow part-timers to be brought in, and drivers, we don't know where they stay. We don't know how they're coming in. And today in the newspaper, on the front page in Mumbai Mirror, the article carries that the committee will be held liable if they do not allow part-time. He has made this statement. So how can you control this? On one hand, you are saying not to allow people to mingle. On the other hand, you are saying the committee will be legally liable for not allowing part-timers in. And the moment a part-timer comes in and you let it loose, this whole thing is going to mothball into number of cases. So you need to give us clear guidelines whether part-timers are allowed or not.
Just to add to this, because part-timers and the government has already taken decision that they have to be allowed, because we are already unlocking. So we cannot stop anybody from working right now. Those who have been allowed to work. Only thing which society can do is do the screening of these all these people every day. You have to do a screening of these people every day, and if you find any of them having symptoms, you have to deny entry to those people. And as far as possible, if you have any house help or any driver who you require, you are actually in need of those drivers, and if possible, try to accommodate within your premises so that they will not go out and there will be no risk of getting infection to you also, to him also.
Sir, my name is Mona. Sir, I would like to just ask that in case it's an asymptomatic carrier who is a part-time worker, how is anything in that case?
Could not get your voice.
I said, sir, in case there is any part-timer who is an asymptomatic carrier, no amount of screening is going to be able to pick that up. And in which case they are potentially going to be spreading the infection in every household that they will be going. So this screening of a part-timer is not without its own flaws and its own problems. So how do we overcome that?
See, as far as asymptomatic patients are concerned, there is no clarity whether they are carriers and they are spreading. Even WHO is not clear whether really asymptomatic patients spread the virus or not. So
Sir, I have a medical background, and I would like to give you a case in point where a young boy came in from the UK, lived with his family without doing the quarantine or the isolation. His father, also a doctor, was an asymptomatic carrier just like him. His grandfather died on the 5th day of his arrival. I'm sure you must be aware of this, sir, you know. So the reason why I'm making this a big issue is because there will be a lot of fights in buildings for part-timers. Very honestly, if you ask me, the government is absolutely right in saying that people cannot be denied their livelihood, but neither can someone be denied their safety, you see. So if there is a small number of people who insist on the part-timers coming in, or even if it's a large number, the screening is not at all adequate to ensure their infectivity. In that case, sir, I think government needs to be a little bit more hard-nosed about safety rather than convenience. And somewhere something needs to be drawn in terms of this particular problem.
In that case, if you, I think all of you can afford to test these people, because even the testing price has come down. If you want to be doubly sure, you can get him tested and then only you can allow those people to come within your premises.
Sir, one more.
Mr. Gaikwad. Mr. Gaikwad, this is Nari. What happened if we pay the part-timers their salary and tell them to sit at home? In those cases, what happens? We don't want to deny their, livelihood. We'll pay their salaries to sit at home and so that there's the safety of the building.
That can very well be done.
I have finished my train of thoughts, sir. I have one last question, if you don't mind, which is, as per the ICMR guideline which came in the newspaper, asymptomatics are not to be tested. Is there any revision to that policy protocol?
Right now, we are allowing even asymptomatic or anything. If you are a high-risk contact or the person feels that he is a high-risk contact, he has to give the undertaking that I have come in contact with some patient. That's why I want to get myself tested, and he is allowed to do test.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Anand Patalia from Usha Kiran.
Well, just a moment, please.
Yeah.
Hello, could we have one conversation? I believe Mr. Keur and then Ravi Rohira, they've put their hands up. So, yes. Mr. Keur, could you please proceed with your question?
Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Gaikwad, I wanted to ask you that you mentioned about getting these people tested, the domestic health tested before they're allowed entry. So, can you give us some guidelines as to what is required for the society members, for them to allow the domestic helps to go to these private labs
to get them tested? Do they require a doctor's medical prescription? And what should be written in those medical prescriptions for the domestic health to go and get themselves tested?
New testing guidelines has already been circulated. I will send it to Mr. Mukul Mehra, who will circulate to all of you. And those are very clear. If he is symptomatic, if the person is symptomatic, then he can get it tested. Then he requires a medical prescription. Even a symptomatic patient or asymptomatic person who has come in contact with somebody, and if he feels that I have come in contact with some positive patient, you have to just give a personal undertaking and you will get tested from the private labs, and those private labs are coming home to test also.
But sir, we are told that the private labs require a doctor's prescription to be given
not required from last 4-5 days. It is not required.
I just called up
personal undertaking.
I just called up 2 laboratories in the morning because the society is considering that all domestic help which is now coming back or wanting to come back, so I called up 2 laboratories in South Bombay in the D ward today morning, and both of them told me that I have to give them a doctor's prescription in the name of the individual who needs to be tested, and the individual needs to carry either their original Aadhaar card while they need to go for testing. So, and this is on the recording also. When you call the labs up, they have a special message which says that you have to first scan a copy of the prescription to a particular number or WhatsApp the copy of the prescription to that number, and then they will call back and schedule an appointment. So even today, as of today at 10 o'clock, when I called up in the morning, these 2 laboratories in South Bombay, both of them independently mentioned the same thing. They need a doctor's prescription.
Can you share the
need a doctor's prescription if your person is not in contact with any positive patient? Then
we would not know. Sir, we would not.
Saying that I have come in contact with positive person, then there is no need of prescription.
So we would not know that, right? Because these domestic healths mostly would be
but one more thing I would like to add, that BMC has already displayed the number of containment zones in Mumbai. So we just check the person who is coming to your house help, whether he stays within any of these containment zones or sealed buildings. If not, and there is, actually speaking, there is nothing to panic as such right now.
We know that
320 cases which have been detected within the last 10-12 days, 205 cases are asymptomatic, and others are also having only mild symptoms. So,
may I come in? May I come in?
We are changing the subject. I want to know whether doctor is prepared to give the certificate. Doctor is not prepared to give the certificate for testing. So he says he's bound by some other rules. So I think it's very confusing. The testing is the most important thing for us to employ any person, and we are not able to go ahead with that.
May I?
Sir, I'm Dr. Gautam Lad from Sagar Darshan. We have also got a ICMR form which says that if the patients are asymptomatic and we get them tested, the doctors can, the body can revoke the license of the doctors.
Correct.
So in this situation, you're just saying that the part-timers are allowed to be tested by the society. How will any doctor take a responsibility that way? Because the license is going to be revoked then. That is one thing. Second thing, we have not got any protocols from the BMC, what guidelines to be followed in our society. Third thing is about the garbage disposable, especially from the COVID flats. There is a lot of ambiguity about that. Fourth thing, I know your BMC staff is working full time, but we don't see the roads being swept well enough. There is litter all over. If the drains are not cleaned, there will be flooding and there will be another pandemic with cholera and other waterborne diseases. I want to know what the BMC is doing to overcome these issues.
Firstly, I think for your society, we have already issued their guidelines and we have a signature copy from one of your members for Sagar Darshan. Second thing, for desilting and all these things, desilting BMC, D-Ward and entire central agency has already completed 100% desilting. There has already been drained, there has been cyclone there is 100% desilting has already been done for BMC. For your society, we have already issued those guidelines and we have a signature copy from one of your member. I don't know whether you have got it or not. Some of the members, we are asking member or society manager to give an acknowledgement of the guidelines which we have issued. And if required, we will issue the guidelines again to each and every society. Third thing, what you said about this testing protocol. The testing protocol has very clearly been mentioned from last 6 days that a person who has come in contact, he has to certify himself that he is in contact of some positive patient. And he has to give the undertaking. And then any lab is allowed to test him. That's why I'm saying if your person is coming from containment zone, that person you can to get him tested at his home, and if he is negative, then he can come to your premises. Otherwise, at this moment, being from government side, even I will request that don't test all the asymptomatic patients because you will increase the load on the labs, and that will delay the reports which is to be given for the symptomatic patients, which can cost life if that report is delayed, getting delayed by 1 day.
Sir, Ravi Rohira from Tani Heights.
Yeah.
First and foremost, sir, I must compliment you on the isolation facilities BMC has created. We've had almost 15 or 16 people of our building, which has been sealed, unfortunately, yesterday. 15 or 16 staff, domestic staff, and our society staff who have gone to isolation facilities. And I must compliment that they are very, very happy over there. They are being taken very well care of. And the facilities, I must say, are unexpected, so to say the least. Now, sir, there are 2-3 things which I would like to clarify since we are a sealed building and it would be probably useful for things which may pan out in the future, which I hope it doesn't, but it's possible. One, sir, is the question of what is the criteria for sealing a building? Is it based on the number of residents vis-a-vis the cases detected, or is there some other criteria? Number one. Number two, sir, the building having been sealed, are people allowed to go for the so-called, are people allowed to step out for the so-called essential services? Should we allow them to go out, or are they not permitted to go out? Thirdly, there are members who do not listen to us. They simply walk in and walk out at their own will. What is the action that is to be taken on such people, sir? These are 3 questions that I had, sir. Thank you.
If your building is sealed, even for essential services, you don't have to allow the people unless it is emergency for medical reasons, and somebody who is working for medical as a medical practitioner, those people are allowed to go. For other essential services, for your all the groceries and medicines, we can engage you with one of the grocery shops or one of the chemist shops who can deliver it at your society's gate, and you can get it at your society's place.
No, sir, that's not what I meant. I meant that people have letters from police saying that they are allowed to work, they are allowed to go here, they are allowed to go there. So are we supposed to permit those residents to step out of the building?
Once your building is sealed, you don't have to permit anybody to go out for those reasons.
Okay. And what is the criteria, sir, for sealing a building, if you may share with us, sir?
Actually, we are not sealing any building right now. Actually, we are trying to make it less inconvenient to the people. That's why we are sealing the floors. But if there are number of cases are more in one building, and in your case in the Tani Heights, all the near about 21 cases has been detected. 2 are from the members and 19 are house helps. So the house helpers which are working in their flats in the people, and those are moving around in full building. That's why we have to seal that building. It is the judicious call which has to be taken by our staff. We are not going to seal each and every building. But if cases are increasing, then we have to take these measures of sealing the buildings.
So, sir, if I'm just taking this question further, that assuming that the cases now stop increasing, let us hope and pray that it does. Then is there a criteria that the BMC could release the sealing earlier also?
Yes, definitely.
We could approach you for that, sir, if need be. Thank you, sir.
May I please ask a question, sir?
Hi, this is Vivek Bulchandani. I'm the Secretary of Darshan Apartments. Sir, can you explain to us how can we test our daily part-timers coming in every day? I mean, if there is a provision, which is foolproof, and we are sure the system works, we are happy to do it. So based on that, we are not so comfortable allowing our part-timers to come into the building because they're coming from many other buildings also. So it can transmit like at an exponential rate. So please can you guide us how we can get our part-timers back in a safe way by testing them and whether it's possible to test them every day. Thank you.
Actually, it is not at all possible to test every day. And even as I explained before, as per ICMR guidelines and the guidelines issued by BMC or state government, you have to follow those guidelines for testing. You cannot get tested randomly to any person unless he is coming from the containment zones or sealed buildings, and he himself certifies that he has come in contact with some of the positive patients. If the person certifies that I have come in contact with some person, he can get him tested himself. So, otherwise, it is very difficult to get tested each and every of your house help. Screening is the best solution right now available. Or one thing which you can do is that allow him to come to your premises and don't let him go to his home for at least for next 10 to 15 days. So that after 15 days, if the scenario changes, you can take further decision. Once the cases are coming down, this test will become liberal. I mean, government will make this testing, COVID testing liberal. But right now, because there is a load of cases, we cannot make it liberal. And we cannot just allow everyone to get tested because people are getting tested themselves every 3 or 4 days or every week. There are some people who are testing themselves every week, and the people who need test those are not able to get them tested.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Saurabh Kothari from Shashidhar.
Yeah.
Would we be within our rights to deny house help who come from containment zones?
We are not getting it. From containment zone, you have the rights. Because from containment zone, they cannot move.
Okay. So there are, because some members have been asking us that they need to get some.
If they are residing in containment zone, they have to stay home. They cannot leave.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, this is Nikhil from Ashoka Apartment, Secretary. Can you please send the rules and regulation?
Yeah.
The new rules and regulation to everyone, so it will be easier to understand. Because everyone is confused.
Okay.
The main thing is that the people are confused in the building, and the main problem is that everyone is confused.
What is happening now? It is a dynamic situation. Every day some new rule is coming or some other old rule is getting changed.
Yeah, so it's better. So it's better if you can regularly update the rules with Mukul Bhai, and Mukul Bhai will share to everyone.
Yeah.
It will also improve.
May I ask a question, please?
Sorry, just a minute. 27 of our staff members have been taken into a quarantine center right now. So we just want to know those guidelines which you're going to reissue, are they also for them? Because we want to know now in future, if they turn out to be asymptomatic right now, how can we get them back into our society? Because there will always be an apprehension that they were put up in a quarantine center. Are they safe? Do we have a right to get them tested before getting them back into our building?
So once they are in quarantine center, we will get them tested.
Sir, allow me to ask you. I have spoken to your doctor, Dr. Chaitali, and she clearly told me that if these patients...
No. I have made it very clear yesterday also. We will get them tested. Doctors are reluctant to test, but we will get them.
So you assure us that they will be tested before they are allowed to enter the society?
No. We will get them tested after 7 days to 14 days. Once we will test them.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So this is Varun Dalmia again from Prabhat Building. I would like to again reiterate the fact that this part-timer discussion is the massive confusion in societies, since everyone is asking the same question. And time and again, we as committee members, we have 50 flats in our building, and out of 50 flats, if 30 flats come around and say I'm going to call part-timers and we are going to get 30 people down in our building to be screened, it's really not possible, and it's going to be a mammoth of a task, and it will not work out. Either you have to say that the building is free to decide what they want to do. You cannot say that the committee people will be held responsible. This is going to be a bickering fight. I think you will have to be a little clear on this, because then otherwise even the committee people will put their hands up saying, boss, legally we are not allowed to stop and it is just going to break loose. Because society members end up fighting with you that this is legally, and they start really, it's very difficult for committee members to hold this.
Mr. Gaikwad, I am Vilas Doshi here from Mount Blanc. See, now many helpers and Maharajas started coming from non-containment zone also. But while traveling, we do not know whether they are in touch with anybody like COVID and all these things. How do we know?
Mr. Doshi, please allow Mr. Gaikwad to address a question first. Let him
He's not
answer.
moderating properly.
And after this answer, I believe it is Mr. Sailesh Shah to ask his question from Ramesh Nivas.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute myself. Thanks, Mukul. I've been awaiting my turn. We have also had this conflict of allowing part-timers and more so, I think the rules should be common for members and for part-timers, because even the members are stepping out. We have no control on where they go during the course of the day. And there should be some rules or maybe some guidelines even for members to get themselves tested when they come back. So why should we only allow the part-timers to be tested and not hello? I think I got interrupted. I'm not sure if I got heard.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Please continue.
Okay, so even members, are stepping out because they attend their office duties. So there should be some guidelines even for members when they come back. Should they get themselves tested through an oximeter or through a temperature test? If those guidelines are there, it should be uniform for members and for staff, for people coming back into the society.
We have an oximeter.
In Ramesh Nivas, we have got an oximeter and we have got infrared, and irrespective of a member or a staff, they all get tested when they come back. Is that a good policy?
Yeah. That is expected also from all the society, that they should screen all your members and house helps and whatever staff is working in your societies. Those should be regularly screened and records of those shall be maintained. So that if any need arises, we should at least have the records that those have been normal and not having any symptoms. So one of the symptoms for the asymptomatic patients, which I will like to, that loss of taste and loss of odor. That is one of the symptoms which you have to take care of, and you have to rest assured that just coming out of your house and people going out of house and coming back, that doesn't mean that everyone will get the affected or infected from the virus. So we have been moving from the day one to till today. And
Sir, please can you repeat this? Loss of something you said. What is the loss of what?
Loss of taste and loss of odor.
Okay, thank you.
That is a symptom for asymptomatic patients. But if he loses the taste and odor, then he has to feel that he is having some COVID-like symptoms, and he has to get him tested himself.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Kalpana Sharma from
Ms. Sharma, please. It's Ms. Hegde, please. Anaita Hegde, please.
Can I ask?
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Gaikwad. Good morning. I'm the secretary of Tani Heights.
Yeah.
We've had a rough time the last few days, and you have been an immense support to us. I want to thank you again, and I want to tell all the buildings that the BMC has been very supportive. They come in immediately. They are very prompt. They help with the fumigation, cutting, sealing the floors. We couldn't have asked for more support from them. As Ravi mentioned, the facilities are fantastic. The staff are very happy, which is a huge relief to them when they are leaving the building, or anyone for that matter, to know that they will be well looked after. My question, Mr. Gaikwad, is the first person who went into quarantine has already come back into our building. You sent him back in 8 days. First it was told 14 days, now it is 8 days. My issue is, will everybody come back within 8 days? I know it is because of lack of bed space, and I know they are asymptomatic and have no problem. But we need to plan for them when they come back. And do we have to isolate them another 8 days when they come in?
Yes, definitely. Actually, the asymptomatic positive patients, if
they
don't develop any symptom or any for 7 continuous days, as per ICMR guidelines, we are discharging them. But while we are discharging them, they have to be kept home quarantine for next 10 days at least for next 10 days. Actually, it is 14 days, but for at least for 10 days, they have to remain home quarantine.
So home quarantine another 14 days. And just to inform the other members that getting the report and getting the testing is not difficult. We managed it for our entire staff. Mr. Gaikwad is right. If you are in touch with a positive person, you can get it even without a doctor's certificate. So if anyone needs help, we can guide you with that subsequently. Thank you.
Kalpana Sharma, please. I believe you're on queue. Kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Gaikwad, this is Kalpana Sharma, the Joint Secretary of Malabar Apartments. Yeah. My question about containment zones. You know, we keep checking on the BMC site, but I don't think those are updated. So at the moment, for instance, in our building, where we had 3 positive cases and there was quarantine for those people, that has been lifted. And oximeter, and they will be asked to wash hands, and we've set up a protocol for those who are needing part-timers. But the thing is, how do we figure out whether they come from containment zones or not if the BMC list on the site is not up to date? What do you think about that? Is there somebody we can call to double check whether the person who's coming in is from a containment zone?
It is getting updated daily. And there are 2 sheets. One is for containment zone and second is for sealed buildings. The sealed building list is differently maintained.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about containment zones because those will be the jhopatpattis from where most of the
walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sealed building list is different and which is also maintained. So yeah. I don't think it should be updated because every day we are updating it. It takes a day to get updated on the website because for all 24 wards they are updating it.
Yeah.
After 1 or 2 days.
There's a lag. They go 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. Just in case anyone needs to get symptomatic or sick, you close that door. That person is not a risk to anybody else excepting to his own family members. As far as the part-timers are concerned, sir, their travel, their stay, nothing inspires confidence for us to know that even if we have a COVID negative test from them today, they are going to permanently remain COVID negative. In which case, sir, I feel if the government is going to come down heavily to say that part-timers have to be allowed and society has to take the onus of screening them, I think it's heavily unfair and very, very tilted in the favor of the part-timers only for their convenience versus the convenience and versus the safety and the health of the members. Now, my simple request is, sir, either we don't have all these things coming in print media which says that the part-timer has. I said, if you can leave it to the discretion of the society to decide with a majority vote, that would go a far longer way in us ensuring that we are not going to have this big spate of cases all over. Ground staff gets completely compromised because the part-timers and the drivers start using the common facilities irrespective. Nobody has the bandwidth, sir, no matter how much staff you have, to monitor the incoming and outgoing of every single individual on a minute-to-minute basis. So if you are going to have things coming out in the newspaper, in the headlines, saying that part-timers have to be allowed in, and on the other side, if you say that the onus to keep the disease away is from the building members and from the society, how is it ever going to work, sir?
To be very frank, I'm telling you, this issue, we cannot decide at the level of BMC. At the state government's level, we have to decide. There are 2 angles to this because these part-timers also have to survive. Even their home has to run, so they have to get the work. Everybody, I think even you have to work. Everyone has to get out and come back to home. But only thing is that if you are taking the safety measures, so nobody is getting affected because our people, those from our staff who are laborers, those are also working with the COVID care centers also. If they are taking a good care of themselves, they are not getting infected. And if you keep on thinking about the infection, the negativity will take on you someday.
No. So that is not my concern is not the fact that
we have to see, ma'am, we have to deal with this. We have to live with this COVID for next 6 months at least. When
then in that case, sir,
we have to accept all the pros and cons of this. And we have to make sure that the part-timers who are working with you, you can educate them, you can ask them to be safer while traveling. That thing we expect, being a society and being a social responsibility, we all should do towards these people also.
Sir, I fully agree with you, sir. But when they go back home, they have to use the common toilet facilities that they have in that slum or wherever it is that they are living on a day-to-day basis. Sir, how is it that they're going to work?
Slums are getting 4 to 5 times sanitized every day. And
sir,
the number of cases
in the neighborhood.
Mumbai have come down heavily now.
Sir, I have 2 slums in the neighborhood, Ashanagar on one side, Simla Nagar on the other side. Every 3rd to 4th day, there is a case over there and 15 people are taken out from there for quarantine and testing. It doesn't inspire any confidence. So let's face the facts, sir. Either we can have safety or we can have a livelihood. If we are going to say both have to go together, sir, at this point in time, it's not coming forward.
I already told you the number of cases in societies are much more right now from last
year. Because asymptomatic carriers are moving in and infecting societies now.
It is not like that. Even the members are getting infected.
Exactly my point, sir. Sir, when I say asymptomatic, I don't necessarily mean it's only the part-timer. It could even be the member of the family. I agree fully. It could be anyone. But I am saying as far as family member is concerned, sir, they are not going home to home. Part-timers are going home to home, infecting so many people. The member, once he is symptomatic, or even if he is asymptomatic, sir, his risk is limited to his own home.
That call has to be taken by the individual person, whether you want to have that part-timer who is visiting 10 houses, or you want a part-timer who will visit to only your house.
Sir, with the broad-based
guideline, and government cannot decide on that. Individual family member, individual person has to take decision. If you want a part-timer, keep him at your home and let him be there and help you for your daily needs.
Sir, with due respect, that doesn't remain a part-timer anymore. That becomes a full-timer, for which I think no society has a problem right now. We are all having problems only for the part-timers. And when the part-timer is allowed to come in by the state, what is the jurisdiction of the society in that case, sir?
Okay, may I just interrupt? Because I believe this issue of part-timers and full-timers has really taken up a lot of our time.
But it's still not resolved.
Yes. So I believe the best way to resolve this is the societies have a managing committee. They're empowered by all the members of the society. They are a self-governing unit. It's best to let societies handle this at their own end. The BMC has no jurisdiction when it comes to the MCS Act, which governs societies. And the High Court has recently come up on the 17th passed an order that this is an internal matter of housing societies, and the appropriate forum to take up this dispute is the Maharashtra Cooperative Courts. So let's take it out of the ward office for the moment. And if this is to be taken up on a legal level, I believe the best place to do so is the court of law. High Court has said, please go to the cooperative court. Until that is done, I believe the rules of the society are supreme. Let's not drag Mr. Gaikwad into this, because like I said, he has his own limitations under the cooperative, the MMC Act, which governs the municipal corporation. If we could just move forward beyond that to other issues, which may require any address at this point of time. Mr. Karan.
I will ask my staff to get back to you. Mr. Narayan.
Thank you.
May I please ask a question?
Mukul, I have been waiting for a long time. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Mehul, could you go next, please?
Yeah. Mukul, my question is about building repairs. Now, there are many houses where the repairs were stopped halfway. Now, how do we proceed? Because the member is living in a half-repaired house.
Is this a renovation or a repair?
Renovation.
Renovation. All right.
Yeah. So, how do we give them permission to start? Because they are in an extremely uncomfortable situation. One bathroom is broken, one room is broken, one kitchen is broken. What do we do?
Mr. Gaikwad, could you please address this?
This renovation, actually repair for pre-monsoon repair, we are already allowed from May. And we allowed all the societies to complete their pre-monsoon repairs, provided that you have the laborers. If you have the laborers, you can do your renovation works also in-house, but you have to take care of all the guidelines which have been issued.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, there's one small thing I would like to address with Mr. Gaikwad. I believe Mr. Dalmia is bringing this up again. Everyone is concerned, like he has said, on one point we are told allow everyone in. At the same time, there is a responsibility and a liability which is being put upon the housing societies. Now, how do we balance all of that to ensure that, number one, no one is held legally liable or prosecuted, and number two, people's livelihoods are not hurt? Mr. Gaikwad, sir.
I think from BMC side, we are not going to prosecute any of the society members or committee members for any of these things, because we know that all the society committees are helping BMC in containing this virus. And we are only asking for the cooperation from all the societies. And I want you to be a little bit stricter on the members, those who are not cooperating. Because unless you don't become strict for some guidelines, these cases will keep on coming, and cases will come. I don't think in the near future we will be able to see that there will be 0 cases. People will get infected. Only thing is that you have to take care of yourself as well as the others. And if you can follow the basic guidelines which have been issued initially, all of us will be safe. At the same time, all of us will be working, because we have to keep the cycle of this economy moving. Even for the, it is a question, as Mr. Mukul Mehra said, it is a question of the livelihood of the part-timers. We have to be generous with them also. Only thing which we have to do is we have to educate them, and we have to make sure that they follow the discipline also. Thank you.
Okay, could we have Mr. Vakil? I have one question for Mr. Gaikwad. Again, it's a question in the larger interest of everyone. Sir, we are noticing that there is whole-scale violation in our area. I'm sorry to say so. People having social gatherings outside buildings, meeting up in their gardens, not wearing masks, opening up play areas in violation of guidelines. Now, most of the people who do so are refusing to follow the guidelines and are rebuking those who ask them to be safe. By doing that, they are putting their neighbors at risk. How can we assist the BMC or ask the BMC to assist us in ensuring that those guidelines are adhered to?
For gardens and open spaces which has been maintained by BMC, we will deploy our staff there, and we will ensure that guidelines issued for unlock phase 1, mission begun again, has to be followed. And if somebody is not following, we will start fining the people. I will request to the police people also to move their vans on the roads and in the parks, and to find the people who are not following the guidelines. And unless we start fining, I don't think there will be any change in the behavior.
So we have Mr. Patil here from Malabar Hills. Mr. Patil, if you could please let people know that you are going to start cracking down on these violations which are taking place. Senior PI Patil is here, sir.
Yeah, Inspector Wagh is speaking. Could you repeat the question? I could not understand.
So we have a lot of violations taking place where people are walking around without masks.
Your speech is broken now. Speech is broken.
Can you hear me now?
I will talk to senior PI separately, and we will ensure that actions will be taken in these cases.
Thank you, Mr. Gaikwad. Now, Mr. Vinay Vakil, please. You said.
Yeah, hi. I wanted to ask initially, how many days does it take to show the symptom? The COVID-19 symptoms, how many days does it take?
3 to 5 days. It's after 3rd to 5th day, they will start showing the symptoms.
So initially, when you've been infected with a virus, the first 2-3 days you are asymptomatic.
There is a probability that you may test negative.
So even the oxygen or the temperature would not be there for the first 3 days.
Even your test may reveal negative report.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Sunil Lula, you've been waiting.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Gaikwad. Thank you for everything you are doing. Could you please resend the guidelines, because I am not sure they have reached all our buildings. Poonam Cooperative Society, 67 Nepean Sea Road.
I will do one thing. I will WhatsApp all the guidelines to Mr. Mukul Mehra also. He will circulate to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we seem to have no more questions. Anyone else who would like to raise any questions with Mr. Gaikwad?
Can I raise a question?
Can the society procure some
Dr. Lad.
cylinders and be kept in the premises? Because if in cases of emergency someone has some breathlessness issues, because right now we contacted a couple of oxygen suppliers and they're saying that it's not available. Is it possible for at least societies which have some cases of positive patients where we can keep a couple of cylinders in the lobby so the staff can send it up to their respective flats in emergency?
Cylinders, there will be an issue. There are guidelines for cylinders to be kept, even from fire department. But oxygen concentrators you can have. Societies can purchase the oxygen concentrators which can be used in case of emergency. Even I will request all societies to have some facilities in their premises so that
mistaken, the oxygen concentrators cost about 80 to 85,000.
you are getting it.
Sir, it is advisable to make a quarantine center in the building?
Yeah, I will advise if you can convert your gyms and society offices, some part of that into quarantine facility. So that will be better for your.
Give us some strict guidelines. What are the minimum bare necessity equipment we require?
There is no guideline for minimum bed. It is as per your will. If you can have 2 beds, it is okay. At least 2 patients.
No, I mean to say in terms of equipment, what we need to keep.
Equipment you can keep only asymptomatic patient or your high risk contacts of the patients. Even asymptomatic patients, I will say you refer to our hospitals or our CCG2 centers. You only keep this quarantine facility for the high risk people who have come in contact with the patient till the time they are getting tested.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Kishore Shah from Vardhaman building on the Manav Mandir Road, Abhay Cooperative Housing Society.
Yes, sir.
Sir, a lot of questions have already been asked and you're going to be issuing the guidelines. Sir, we have a very typical problem. When there was a cyclonic condition in the situation, some of the branches have fallen down and they are blocking even the drainage. Now we cannot get any private person to pick them up, and we have requested BMC to pick them up. BMC has not been able to do because they are busy doing something else. Sir, can you guide us? What should we be doing to remove all the branches which has fallen during that time?
You can do it on, but for that, for private premises, we have to charge for that. You have to make an application online, and once you make an application and make the payment for the charges, our team will come and get it clear.
Right, sir. But is there a particular site on which we have to make the application?
BMC site, that portal.mcgm.gov.in.
Thank you, sir.
I have a last question.
Mr. Mukul, I want to ask one question.
Excuse me, I have a last question. We
Mr.
want
Gupta,
to
please.
know in the D ward whom we should contact. Is there a PRO? Is there a PRO in D ward whom we can contact for any issue? We want a name and the phone number.
You can contact our ward war room number. I think it is already available. Mr. Mukul Mehra, please circulate to all of them the ward war room contact number. Where for any COVID related issue you can call, and they will get it resolved.
Mukul Mehra, can
Sir,
you please
I have a question. Can I have a question, sir?
Hi, this is Divya Gupta from Varsha Building on behalf of Mr. Alok Gupta. Some of the questions have been answered. But just want a little clarity that as soon as a COVID patient is, has been reported in our society, what is the first step required to be done?
Right now, actually, if COVID patient is detected in your society, the first agency who knows about this is the BMC, and BMC is right now informing you. And if at all you are coming to know before us, you have to just inform to our ward war room, and our team will come and take the rest of the work.
Yeah, I have one more question, please. What do we do? Because some of the members are not really
War room number, just what war room number I will tell if all of you can note it down.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Gaikwad. This is Mr. Mohammad Nasir, Secretary from Simla House Cooperative Housing Society. I have a question. All the question has been answered by you. Thank you very much. But one question. We have a society of 246 flats. And most of the relatives are coming in. In spite of asking them, all the relatives are coming with their parents or anybody, brothers, sisters. Can we have some control on that?
Right now, we cannot stop anybody from coming from anywhere because we have allowed inter-district travel also.
But we are, if we are not allowing the domestic health, and we are taking all the measures for domestic health, and we are doing all testing and all. What about the relatives which are coming from the containment zone or from anywhere in Bombay or from out of Bombay?
If they are coming from containment zone, they are not allowed.
But how we cannot know about that? All
zone is not allowed.
So can you share the telephone number you were sharing?
Yeah. Please note it down. 0
He's saying the number. Please give the number first.
022 383 2383 5004.
Please repeat.
022 2383 5004.
2383 after that?
5004.
It's a 24-hour helpline number.
Yeah, it is 24-hour helpline.
Is there an email ID where we can write to? That would be easier.
Email ID is ac.d@mcgm.gov.in.
No, you are going too fast.
AC, Assistant Commissioners AC.
Okay.
Dot D for D what?
Yeah.
@mcgm.gov.in.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question. This is Nitin Chabria from Skyscraper. We find that common toilets are the most, common place where the virus is spreading from. What is your advice on utilization of these common toilets within society, especially when part-timers come in, drivers come in?
Your common toilets is
within the building.
Within the building also. I will request that you start sanitizing those common toilets at least 4 to 5 times a day.
Do you think that it's a good idea for part-timers to use them?
Yeah, if you are doing it 4 to 5 times sanitization, then it can be allowed. At least it will curtail the spread of virus. So we are doing the same thing in the claims.
Mr. Gaikwad, I am from Skyscraper also. Similar question to that. Some members are suggesting that the part-timers go to the Sultana and use the toilet and come back to the building, some drivers. Mr. Gaikwad, this is Ashish of Skyscraper. A similar question what Nitin asked. We have some drivers who are coming to our building. Some members suggesting that they go to the Shulup Sanchalaya and use the toilets. They're not our common toilet. Do you think that is a better idea? Or use our toilet and then they go there?
We are doing sanitization. See, actually getting virus is not limited to toilet only. You can get virus anywhere. If you are coming in contact with the person who is already infected, there is 100% chance of getting you infected unless you are not taking the care. If you are taking a care and you are coming in contact with the person who is positive, then you will not get the virus infected by the virus. So it depends on the person whether he is following the guidelines.
Mr. Gaikwad, this is Abhi Nadim Sindani. I am from Gulmarg Cooperative Housing Society. I have a question. You see, we have got our permanent staff who are in the building. If we allow part-timers to come in, I know you have said that the MC can take a decision whether to allow or not allow based on majority or based on their own decision. But if we allow the part-timers to come in, and if by chance our permanent staff gets affected, we may lose our permanent staff. And second thing is how to take care of them. We don't have in our building any facility for quarantine or anything available to take care of them. So how do we take care of them if something like this happens? Will we call you and will you be taking over their care? Because they are very worried. If it's not just the members of the society, it is these people who are working downstairs who who are worried that how they will be taken care of if anything happens. We have to protect them also, no?
As I said before also.
Coming back to that, I believe this is an internal matter for the society.
And you have to segregate those permanent workers and the part-timers. That is what you can do as a society.
No, it is not always possible to segregate. It's a small building with a small lobby.
You're correct. But you see, when it comes to a situation like this, you need to figure out what is the appropriate balance between your convenience and your safety, what risks you're willing to take for what reward or for what illness, if I may say so. So constantly bringing it up at the ward office level, the ward office has no authority. They're not going to come and break down your gates if you don't allow someone in. That is not their job. They're not going to force you to allow someone in. That is not their job. That is something which your society as a community needs to sit together and work on.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's very clear. Thank you very much.
Mukul, I have a question for Mr. Gaikwad, if it's possible.
Gautam. Mr. Gautam Vatsa from the Altamont Road Residents Association.
Mr. Gaikwad, can you recommend to us? Can you recommend to us what chemical we should use for sanitization?
Sodium hypochlorite.
Can you please repeat it, sir? Can you please repeat it?
Sodium hypochlorite.
Can you please recommend to us what chemical we can use for sanitization?
Sodium hypochlorite is the chemical. Which is
And is it easily available or do we need to get it from?
it is available.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you can also use something called silver accelerated hydrogen peroxide. It costs around 3 times more, but it's safer when it comes to using on your furniture and marble. It's also freely available.
May I ask a question?
Can you repeat the silver?
Silver accelerated, please repeat.
Silver accelerated hydrogen peroxide. Okay, again, very important. All of these chemicals are not safe to use on people, pets, and the like. It is only when you actually need to sanitize the area. Don't use it on people. Don't use it on someone who's coming in. Don't put it in these fancy...
Chemicals are highly inflammable also. So you have to keep them, as far as don't store them within your premises. It has to be need-based.
I have an economical chemical which I'm using for the dental clinic.
So I have a question.
Yes, we had someone speak.
Yeah, I'm from the Ashutosh Society.
I have a question.
Samir, is that you?
Yeah, Mr. Gaikwad, just one question. When you have members who had gone off to their other homes during the lockdown and they are returning back with no symptoms and where they have remained in isolation, any precaution to be taken, or the society, do they have to take any extra care?
If they are coming from green zones, I don't think there will be there is any need to take it precautions.
May I ask the question, please?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I am from Ashutosh Society, Bimlesha, Managing Committee member. Just we have kept the temperature meter at the downstairs, but we have not kept the oximeter. Are you advising that we should keep that also for the best result?
Yeah. Oximeter will give you the means. It is better for the senior citizens, and if your oxygen level is dropping and if you are not having any symptom, that will be an alarm for you to about this COVID case.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
To share something?
Mukul, may I ask a question? Thanks, Mukul. Sir, this is Vanita Singh from Poonam Building, Nepean Sea Road, 67 Nepean Sea Road. We have a very bad case of people spitting and peeing all over the place, and our building wall being maximum. I had complained earlier to Mr. Mote and they had put some red powder. But I guess you guys have to look into this with all these hawkers that are coming in. They are spitting and peeing all over the place. Also, there are drivers and servants and all that doing it. I'm suggesting that BMC should come down very hard on these spitting issues in the city. It's a hazardous thing.
Yes, we will do it.
Okay, this is Anil Makhija from Devi Baba, Nepean Sea Road.
on this oximeter matter, I just wanted to find out what is the threshold that has been defined?
95.
Sorry?
95.
95. So anything?
Below 95 means 92, 93, you should be cautious. And if it drops below 90, you have to get it admitted.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm Rajan from Bridgecuty Society. And just my question is that we have a couple of cases recently. Just want to know if we are trying to sanitize ourselves, our staffs are doing. Is it possible for BMC to sanitize for us once in a while if we request?
So once your case is detected in your building, we will do it once on the same day. When you are on that day, we will do it 100%.
Okay.
After that, it is become very little difficult for us because there are number of places where we have to do the sanitize.
Right.
If need arises, you can make a call to our that call center. We will try to get it done.
Okay, okay, sir. So how often is it safe, do you think, that we should get it done from BMC?
1 or 2 days is more than sufficient. 1 or 2 times. As long as you are not having the common toilets and all those things, so there is no need of doing sanitation regularly over there.
Thank you.
It has to be done to the specific spot where the patient can touch and other people can touch.
Okay.
I had a question, please, Mr. Gaikwad. About what temperature should we put an alarm for individuals if the temperature rises above a certain level?
It is normal 100 above. If it is 100 Fahrenheit, you are having temperature. If you are having temperature, you have to get yourself tested. If you are having temperature for 2 days or 3 days, you should get yourself tested.
But it could be a normal fever, and
yeah,
you can still.
Normal
it could be a normal fever for 2-3 days.
Yeah, it can be.
And you still go for testing. You would recommend that we still go for testing.
If you have a fever, I will advise that you don't go for paracetamol immediately because people tend to go for paracetamol if they are having fever. It's better to observe for 2 days, and if after 2 days fever is not residing, you will test yourself in it.
Okay, Rishi Daryanani, please. And this will be the last question.
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Gaikwad and Mukul, for having this. Our building gets a lot of Amazon parcels coming in, and the delivery boys, they go to different buildings and they bring it down to our
send
building.
me your question. I'm forwarding it on the thing right now. Send me your question.
Is it necessary to have some sort of way to sanitize it? Is it necessary to do that?
It is advisable.
Yeah, Rishi, Mr. Gaikwad, can I take this question?
Yeah, please.
For everyone, if you are all concerned about something like this, buy a small hand sprayer. It costs a few ₹100. Use a sodium hypochlorite solution of maybe 0.5%. Spray the parcel when it enters your building, leave it there for 20 minutes, and then you can take it home. The outside, if it was infected, would to a great extent be safe to handle thereafter.
Where's the hand sprayer? We have got this bottle. No?
Mukul, what about the UV light? Mukul?
Is there any other question related to COVID which has not been handled by Mr. Gaikwad in the past 75 minutes?
Can we freely install UV towers in the UVC towers in the lobby and the lift areas? Or we need to take some prior permission from the BMC for that?
I'm
people
sorry, but
complain that it's a health hazard.
No, it's a health hazard. You should not put UVC. It can end up giving you corneal damage.
But obviously, when you are in contact with it, the lights are off. You're not supposed to be in the vicinity. There are some protocols to use it.
That is correct. If you follow protocols, it should not be an issue. I am using it at home to sanitize parcels as well.
So as a committee member, we can take because many senior citizens keep objecting that it's a health hazard, but on the general, if everyone's okay with it, we could go ahead once the committee approves of it, right?
You can. At the end of the day, even water can kill you if you have 6 liters a day. So
yes.
as long as someone is using common sense and sensibility, It's absolutely fine.
Okay, thanks.
Mukul, I'd like to. Mukul, I'd like to ask a question on the medication protocol. Mr. Gaikwad said that no paracetamol to be taken. I just want to understand what's the first responder action if there is a fever symptom. You know, what is one, because usually one takes a Crocin or a Dolo. What should one do? I mean, is it...
If you're having a fever, you consult your physician immediately. Because what has happened in some cases, people have taken paracetamol and your symptoms are getting vanished, and after 3 or 4 days, the symptoms come back and the patients have become critical. So it is always advisable that if initially you have some symptoms, COVID-like symptoms, you get yourself tested and start the medication as per advice of your general practitioner.
So if you have a fever, so if one has a fever, can we immediately go for a test?
Immediately go for test, because it is one of the symptoms which allows you to test yourself.
And consult a physician on the medication protocol.
Yes.
Thank you.
We will.
Mukul, may I ask a question?
Sunil.
About PPE kits. So, Mr. Gaikwad, many societies have advised to keep PPE kits for visiting people. Is that really useful? That protects them. It doesn't protect the resident, right?
As you rightly said, it protects them, doesn't protect others.
Yeah. So we don't really need it, correct?
It's what I would say in this case.
But they have got gloves, they've got masks.
Mask and this face shield is more than enough, because we are using it when we are moving around. I don't use PPE kit.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll bring this meeting to an end. I'm sure Mr. Gaikwad has got a lot of things to do. He's given us almost 90 minutes of his precious time. I mean, that's a record even for us. All right. So now, just to sum up everything, the one issue which was a matter of contention for everyone, Mr. Gaikwad has clarified. There will be no prosecution from the end of the BMC as long as the committees and the buildings are being cautious in their approach, if they, all right, in bringing in outsiders. Now, if you do decide to have a samosa party like it took place in Goregaon, please expect Mr. Gaikwad's staff to visit you with a notice. And I believe someone from Malabar Hill Police Station would also be glad to come over and partake in that samosa party. Beyond that, I think we've addressed everything. Does anyone have any other issues, Mr.
I have a suggestion that can we have another session like this after 15 days if possible, so that then we can be more dynamic as societies.
Yes.
I think we
as
should
per the situation.
We'll try to do that with Mr. Gaikwad.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll come back with a smile, telling us we've done a great job in 15 days and not made a right royal mess of everything.
Thank you very much for organizing it.
We are very thankful to Mr. Gaikwad. And thank you very much.
And Mukul, can you please circulate the rules and regulation? Mukul?
Yes. So I have put up a message. Please follow the D Ward on Twitter. They have a handle. It's my BMC Ward D. They keep posting all of the new rules and regulations over there.
Can you just repeat that, please? My BMC?
Ward D. W-A-R-D and the alphabet D again.
I have a question for the police department. I have received an email for gifting the masks to the police.